Here at Utah Trikes, accessibility is one of the main focal points of what we do. Because the whole point of a recumbent trike is to bring the joy of cycling to somebody who can't experience that on a normal bike. But problems start to arise when you don't have full mobility of your legs. Because it's kind of impossible to power a pedal vehicle without the use of your feet. Or so you'd think. The highlight of today's video blows that restriction out of the water and puts the pedal power into the palm of your hands. What is this recumbent trike, you may ask? Well, that's called the HP Velotechnik hands-on cycle. A one-of-a-kind trike upgrade that is here to get you out and riding again. So let's talk about it and see how this hands-on upgrade can be the perfect accessibility tool for you. HP Velotechnik is a staple trike brand out of Germany that is known for their innovative and high-quality trikes. Since 1993, they've been passionately innovating and optimizing bikes and trikes to be the best they can be. The two trikes that we carry by them are the staple Gecko and Scorpion models of trikes, two indirect steering trikes that we love. With excellent build quality and tons of customizable options, these are great trikes for anybody. The Gecko is a great affordable trike option through HP that is made with comfortability and accessibility in mind. It has a high-set seat for easy mounting and dismounting, as well as a well-set boom to give you the perfect amount of support and pedaling force. It has a maximum payload of 330 pounds, and with no suspension or folding, it is a simplified trike, making it stronger and a lot lighter too. If you're looking for a higher-end trike, that's where the Scorpion comes in. This is a lower-seated trike with a more recumbent build. The pedals are situated higher so that you're pushing up and against the seat for maximum pedaling efficiency. The Scorpion has many different configurations and models, but the most popular option is the Scorpion FS26, a full suspension trike with a folding frame and a 26-inch rear wheel. This is one of our most comfortable trikes with its top-notch suspension and laid-back feel. This trike is just really hard to beat. Now that we've shown you two great trikes, don't you wish you could have these riding options, but more accessible for someone who doesn't have full function of their legs? A trike platform like HP with so much adaptability for whatever kind of ride that you're looking for. It's something you could only dream about. Until right now. That's right, the biggest thing about the new HP hand cycle is that it isn't a trike at all. It's a boom conversion for all HP Tadpole trikes. So no matter if you want a Gecko for its upright seating or a Scorpion for its amazing suspension, this hand cycle adaptation will meet you there. You may have seen us talk about the Sun HT3 hand cycle, but this is less similar to that and closer to our own hand cycle conversion that we've done just a couple of times. HP has designed their own version of this conversion for their trikes. One of the biggest things it has over other hand cycle options is its entirely enclosed housing. A common problem with hand cycles is that with so much extra exposed hardware, things can get caught, snagged, or broken easily. But with the HP hand cycle, it's all contained. Even the brake cables have a fabric covering that prevents them from being kinked or snagged, something that can happen often on other hand cycles. This all-internal design makes a complicated setup like this one work smoothly without any worry of the delicate pieces being broken, which is assurance that you just don't want to skimp out on. To keep the design simple and practical, the hand cranks work directly with the single front gear that can already be found on standard versions of the HP trikes. This conversion actually doesn't mess with the basic gearing at all. It just integrates the hand-powered system into the already existing gearing setup. The front gearing may only have one speed, but the HP cycles are still 8x3. How does this work? Well, in the rear, there is your standard 8-speed cassette where the cogs usually sit. And then right next to that, threaded into the wheel, is a 3-speed internally geared hub. This allows for you to have two sets of gearing in the rear, simulating a standard front gearing and rear gearing setup. This makes the front hardware of the trike much less cluttered and easier to adapt, especially for a configuration like this. Now, let's talk about the biggest difference visually with the HP hands-on cycle. That being the big bar that extends out over your legs to give you access to the hand cranks. This is the mechanism that allows you to reach your hand pedals and still sit comfortably reclined in your trike seat. To achieve this, the hand cycle setup needs to be pretty adjustable to account for all different sizes and builds of riders. This can be easily done, accommodating for people who are 5'2" to 6'6", and for arm lengths of 27.5 inches to 37 inches. For more subtle alterations, the setup can be adjusted in all 3 dimensions. You can't adjust the distance of the hands-on cycle unit from the frame too much, like by the boom. You can do that about 2.5 inches in and out from the frame. But you can adjust the footrests up to 5.5 inches to accommodate for longer leg lengths. If you want to adjust the angle of the bar, you can do that easily. The bar has an adjustable angle of 14 degrees up and down, if you need more room. You can adjust that by accessing the point where the pole connects to the frame of the trike, right here. You can undo this quick release right here, and you have a full range of adjustability to work with. If you need the handles situated further apart or closer together, the handle configuration can be adjusted so they're 20.5 inches apart to 24.5 inches apart. The HP hand cycle's innovative build doesn't stop there though. The steering mechanism for this setup can't be found anywhere else, and integrates with the tadpole build so well. The pull of the hand cycle setup connects to the pivot point mounted to the frame, and that's where the magic happens. Unlike other hand cycles where you have to turn your cranks left and right, leading to uncomfortable stretching and unnatural body movement, on the HP hand cycle, all you need to do is lean. The pull is set up to be able to move with you as you lean into your turns. No need to extend your arms or lean forward, just tilt the console and lean into your turn. This promotes safe riding by utilizing even weight distribution as you ride, so you can stay more stable during turns without sacrificing control of the trike. The safety and comfort go beyond that too. There are many small details that are present that elevate your riding experience. The first one I'll mention are the built-in wrist rests at the base of each crank handle. When you're holding on to 2 handles that are suspended at about chest height, it can be pretty tiring to keep your hands up unsupported. So these wrist rests are a big help, giving you a little support on those high pressure points. For more comfort on the other appendages, there are the Velcro strapped footrests at the front of the trike. With the Velcro straps, they can be adjusted to have more or less slack, depending on how big your legs are or just how much you want them to be cradled. If you need an even more secure foothold, HP offers an optional Velcro strap footplate that connects to the front bar of the HP hand cycle rigging. These are a sturdy addition that helps protect your feet from falling off of the trike, and we all know how important that is. For more leg support, body support, and other accessibility options, HP has many solutions for whatever you may need, from lower leg supports, side pads and seat belts, as well as mounting to hold canes or walking equipment for when you dismount. For safety, there are some key features as well. On the front of the trike, we can find 2 unique areas with reflectors. These increase visibility on your trike. You can find one right at the top of the pole under the pedaling hub, and the other in the form of this reflective tape on the front footboard. If you want to add a headlight, there are a couple of places where we could mount these. The best spot would be the front bar with the reflector, just like an accessory mount on a normal trike, or we could mount them on the front plastic hub with a little bit of Utah Trikes magic. For other accessories like bells or speedometers, there's an easily accessible bar, perfect for accessories, right in the middle of the 2 handlebar grips. This also comes in handy for the next additional thing that you can add to your HP hand cycle. And that is the integrated NeoDrive's Z20 rear hub motor paired with the Shimano XT10 speed gearing. This is a hub motor provided through HP directly. Unlike most of the motors here at Utah Trikes, this is a rear hub motor, meaning that the motor is directly threaded into the rear wheel next to the gearing. This is great for the accessory mount, because for a motor, you need a place to keep your display and assist buttons, so that the accessory mount keeps these buttons accessible and the buttons are easy to interact with. The NeoDrive Z20 is a pedal assist only motor, giving you ample support for longer rides or uphill climbs. This is a fully integrated motorized setup with no intrusive hardware like there would be with a front-mounted mid-drive motor. This motor is perfect for hand pedaling, providing a top speed of 15 miles per hour. The wattage of this motor is on the higher end of our pedal assist motors, coming in at 576 watts. This wattage gives a powerful 40 Newton meters of torque and a max level of 300% assistance. There's a lot of power in this motor, so you can tackle any challenge that you may face. This motor is made and assembled in Germany, where HP is manufactured as well. It is a great, silent, and efficient motor system that is sure to get you where you need to go. And remember, this is a motor option only for the HP hand cycle versions of HP Trikes. Now that we have talked about all the physical features of this accessible trike, why don't we show it in action and demonstrate some of its features that we mentioned. All right, so here's the HP hands-on cycle. We've got one right here. This is just on a Scorpion FS20.
style frame that we've got here. With the hands-on cycle, it doesn't increase the size by too much. It's still the same trike in most dimensions. It's really just height where it changes. I've ridden this around a little bit, and I've been really liking it, actually. It's a lot more comfortable and a lot more accessible than I thought. But there is one problem that I found so far, and that's mounting the trike. So when we're mounting the trike, for me, an able-bodied person, it's pretty easy. It's a lot more difficult than a normal trike, because on a normal trike, right, you're stepping in like this, and you're sitting down. I got a pole in my way. I can't do that. So you have to step through, which for something so low can be a little difficult. So like for me, right, I gotta like move these arms up, and the pole is angled as high up as possible, and then I step in, and then I try not to put too much weight or pressure on the back. I just try and put it all here on the bottom. Then bring my left leg in, right? Like I made it look a little easy, but also I'm 20 years old and I have pretty able bones. But once you're in, right, it feels really comfortable. And you can really adjust most of it from where you're sitting, right? If it's up this high, the handlebars kind of get in the way. I like it lower. I hate going up this high. So over here, in between my legs, we've got the quick adjust. It's really easy to access. And you just put it at what angle you want, bring it back, and then close it. You wanna make sure it's tight. You're putting a lot of pressure on it. But then once you're out here, and your legs have already been adjusted, no matter how low you bring it, you aren't gonna hit your legs or anything. Even when you're turning, it helps keep your hands away from the tires and from your legs, which I was really surprised about. On things like this, it's usually an oversight on like full turning, on like where your wheels are hitting, but they seem to do a really good job at getting a good distance with that, and I really appreciate it. And that with steering, right? I really like the steering on this. I knew it was gonna be better than something like the HT3, but just how easy it is to use while riding and how intuitive it is when you're already turning into your, like leaning into your turns. It's really nice. Like here, I'll take it out. There's a little parking brake on the left, but like something like this, it's really easy to just lean into it. It doesn't mess with the control at all because it doesn't take the bars any farther away from your body. Like on the HT, where you gotta like turn like this, it just goes with you. It's really nice. Then also, while riding around, something you really notice is these little support pads here, right? I kind of call them wrist rests because they are, but it is more of just like part of the pedaling process. Because as you're bringing your hands down, you really need to push down hard to get down through these harder gears sometimes. So having this extra kind of pressure point to push on and scoop, it's been really nice. They really thought through that. I was kind of surprised when I saw it the first time. Shifting's really nice. It's a little hard because your hands are down here, right? Your hands are here and the grifting's up here. So while you're pedaling, it's a little difficult to move your hand up and shift. But you don't need to do that too much on the left side because the left one's a hub. So if you're changing on the hub, you don't need to be moving. But just on the right side, it can get a little difficult. Then the issue of dismounting. If you thought getting in was hard, getting out can be a little harder. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is if you pushed this down, your bar, you're gonna wanna adjust it again. Push it as high up as possible. Something I was really happy about is that you can adjust it so easily while sitting. Because something like that, you definitely need to put it up when you're trying to get out. You can get out a lot of ways. Main way I do is just the basic reverse. Take my 1 foot out that I put in last while getting in, and then put pressure on the seat, and then step out. Again, if you're not able-bodied, that can probably be pretty difficult. I am really curious how this would fare on a gecko comparatively, because it is a lot higher. Maybe that's a bit easier to get into because you don't have to bring yourself so low. There's gonna be pros and cons for each one, and that's really the biggest problem I've found with it, is the mounting and dismounting. Otherwise, the steering's great. The amount of adjustability is great. We were able to move the boom in and out and the footrest here in and out to find the perfect placement for me. Didn't want my legs entirely locked out straight, so we were able to get them just a little loose, but still flat enough where I can have a good crank without my legs getting in the way. But this is a really good adaptation for a hands-on cycle for something like this. And especially from HP. Thank you so much, HP, for finally making something like this. It's really great. And hands-on.
I think that we all can agree that the HP Hand Cycle is a one-of-a-kind trike, built on the already established HP Trikes with impeccable quality, providing the accessibility needed for many low mobility riders, while still giving a comfortable recumbent base, showing us that you don't need a Delta-style trike for hand cycle comfort. And that's been the HP Velotechnik Hands-On Cycle, available for all configurations of HP Trikes, from the HP Gecko to the Scorpion. I hope that this video could shed some light on this accessible trike. There isn't a whole lot of hands-on information with it, so we wanted to provide a new look that you won't have anywhere else. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. If you want to stay up to date with all of our new trike releases and our hands-on reviews of them, hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload. And with that, remember to relax, spin fast, and ride trikes. I'll see you guys next time. The root beer, man, is kicking in. This allows you to have 2 gearing in the rear. Tried to 2 gearing. Ah! Jeremy cursed me. He came over here and he cast a secret witch's spell. This can be easily done by accommodating for people who are 5'2" to 6'6", and for arm lengths of 2. For safety and comfortability, the safety and comfort go beyond that too. Harold, we found out comfortability isn't a word.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a word. But it sounds like a word.
It does. That's a rapper. Woo! Swing!